Hi everyone, it's your least favorite YouTuber, Lord Domi. Now, today I really have a special treat for you. A lot of goals, two great games. But before we move on into the video, I would just like to say that I'm really excited to say that soon you will see PES 2019. Not only did I already pre-order the game itself, I was assured I will be given some special content, so please leave a like, subscribe, because you are in for a treat in the next month or so. Now, today's two games were really great. The first was mine. I played against FC Barcelona, and the second one was my friend's, who apparently decided to change his nickname from Prince MC to Maras. So Maras will be joining me today, and you have already seen the first goal out of today's amazing 9. Now I will not be giving up the score itself, even though judging by the thumbnail you already saw, it was my victory. The game itself was, well, what can I say? If you win by a score this much, it was an easy game. The opponent itself, well, he tried his best, but apparently he just couldn't control his actions and his gameplay, and this was really an easy game for me. Now I played my starting lineup as usual with K-Dog up front, and as you have already seen, and he already managed to score 2 goals by the 30th minute. Now Barcelona and Real Madrid are, by in my opinion, two the best teams in this video game. As I do not compare them with national teams because it's not comparable. But for me, Real Madrid and Barcelona really are the best teams, and they have the best players. And it's already 4-0 for me. K-Dog again. This was his hat trick. An amazing player, but you really do have to know how to play him in this type of formation. Now I usually play this type of formation, if you have seen already my videos, I have three players up front with K-Dog up front as a central attacker and 2 wings. My usual wings are of course Kluivert and Younes, and I they are my first pick, but sometimes I choose Casiera or even Victor Cherny. Now it's already 5-0 for me, that is 6-0 for me. At this point I was sure the player itself would just give up and leave the game, but as we all know, the courtesy rating is really important in this game. So if you're out there, you young players, the beginners, please don't leave the game. In my opinion, you can only learn from your mistakes. If you, even I do the same thing. If I lose to a player 1-3-0, I always try to learn from him and try to learn on my mistakes. So please don't just leave the game, stay in the game. It's not embarrassing if you lose 5, 6, 7, 8, even 10-0. You can always learn new things, and you can just try to improve yourself as a player. If you play against a better player, just try to see what he is doing and try to incorporate this in your own game. That is how I learned to be a better player, and I assure you this is the only way you will improve yourself as a better player. The current result is 6-1 to me. The second half itself, well, it was a bit of a drag, boring, because I managed to score all the goals I needed, and it was just a matter of questions how many more I will score. As for me, I do not readily choose to just stand still. I try to score beautiful goals, and as you have seen, Kevin Dolberg, K-Dog managed to score a chip. Uh, he chipped the goalkeeper and scored a great lob against the goalkeeper. And I believe there is only one more goal left in this game. As I have said already, it was an easy game to play, and I believe we all have these type sorts of games where the opponent is just no match for us and we enjoy the game itself, even though we have a lot of bad games where it seems that everything we try just can seems to go past the goalkeeper into the goal itself. But sometimes, well, everything just goes in, as it was the case in this game itself. And as you can see, the final score is 8-1 for me. Great 500 points that Ajax gives in these type of games, and I was really glad I managed to win. Even the shots on target was in my advantage, but the possession again was in FC Barcelona's case. Now the second match of the day was my friend Maratz. He again chose Ajax, and he played against my favorite team, Arsenal FC, which I wasn't glad, but we needed a win, and as you will see, it was an interesting game with not much chances, but nonetheless a great game to watch. Now, like I have said, my favorite team is Arsenal, and my mate's friend favorite team is Liverpool. So it's always a pleasure to watch if he can play against these teams. Now Arsenal have gained a reconstruction during the summer. There is a new trainer, Emery, against Wenger, and I believe this will be finally the season of Arsenal, that we won't finish fourth but above the league. Now about the game itself. Well, the first half kind of went through, just not a lot of chances, just filling out the opponent. This was the first chance for Arsenal, the player itself, and it wasn't a great chance, but it really was the only one that we could show you. The second chance in the first half was this one. It was for my friends out of the corner, and basically this really was it in the first half. As you can see, shots on target for Arsenal 2-0 shots on target, and 3 for my friend, and only one shot on target. Now you're afraid that this will be a boring game, but my friend decided to shake things up and decided to change his style of gameplay. Even though he always plays different type of gameplays than me, I like to play on flanks, on wings. He likes to play through the middle, but he got really angry at this half time, and he said, well, I'm going to try to play through the flanks and we'll see what will happen. And frankly, I really am glad he did that. Now, the second game that you are about to see, the second half of the game that you're going to see, well, it was really better than the first half, and out of the start, out of the kick up, he tried to dominate and try to score the goal. He knows also that Ziyech and Dolberg in the center will always give him advantage, but he also recognizes the fast wings that we have in this team. In this case, it was Justin Kluivert and Younes. Now, this was the first goal of the match. If I'm mistaken, it was a ball up front to K-Dog, and K-Dog managed to chip in, and Kluivert as a right wing managed to score a beautiful header. Even though he is not a tall player. He does have a solid header for his height. So this was the first goal of the game. We were up front 1-0 against Arsenal, and if I'm frankly to say, I didn't expect for this to happen, but K-Dog managed to dribble against 3 players and score an amazing goal, and then he just left. So this is it for me today. Thank you guys. Please subscribe, leave a like, comment, and I will see you again in the next